Good evening, and welcome. The geopolitical landscape has been irrevocably altered in the last 24 hours, as a brewing diplomatic storm between the United States and Nigeria has erupted into a full-blown economic confrontation. In an unprecedented move that has sent shockwaves through global markets, the West African powerhouse of Nigeria has announced a sweeping mineral blockade, a direct and audacious retaliation against a recently imposed U.S. travel ban. This is more than just a tit-for-tat, it's a high-stakes gambit, leveraging critical resources against a superpower's policy. The question now looms: how will this bold counterstrike reshape international relations, global supply chains, and the delicate balance of power? For weeks, tensions had been simmering. The catalyst, as many know, was the decision by Washington to implement a stringent travel ban on Nigeria, effective, hypothetical date, e.g., June 1st. The official rationale cited security concerns, particularly regarding intelligence sharing protocols and the perceived inadequacy of Nigeria's digital identity management systems. Point 1 US. Officials maintained the ban was a necessary measure to enhance national security, part of a broader strategy to secure American borders. But in Nigeria, the ban was immediately met with a storm of condemnation. Critics slammed it as discriminatory, punitive, and deeply insulting to a nation that has long been a strategic partner to the U.S. in counter-terrorism efforts. Nigerian authorities expressed profound disappointment, calling the ban an unfair generalization that penalized law-abiding citizens and undermined decades of goodwill. The impact was swift and personal, separating families, disrupting business, and igniting a sense of injustice among millions of Nigerians, both at home and within the vast diaspora. The pressure on the Nigerian government to respond with a forceful, unequivocal message became immense. And respond they did. In a powerful address from Abuja this morning, President, hypothetical Nigerian president's name, declared the mineral blockade. Citing a violation of national sovereignty and an unjustifiable affront to our people's dignity, the president announced an immediate cessation of all mineral exports to the United States. This wasn't merely a symbolic gesture, it was a strategic deployment of Nigeria's economic weight, designed to inflict maximum pressure. The message was clear: if the U.S. restricts the movement of Nigerian people, Nigeria will restrict the movement of its vital earth. Now, to understand the true gravity of this blockade, we must look at the specific minerals Nigeria produces. While perhaps not as widely known for these as for its vast oil reserves, Nigeria is, in fact, a significant global player in the extraction of several critical industrial minerals. Point 2 These include columbite and tantalite, essential for high-temperature alloys, electronic capacitors, found in smartphones, laptops, jets, and superalloys for aircraft engines. Point 3 tin, used extensively in soldering, plating, and various alloys for electronics. Point 4 lithium and cobalt. Though production is nascent but growing, these are indispensable components for electric vehicle batteries and renewable energy storage. Gold and lead, used in various industrial and manufacturing processes. The United States, with its colossal technology sector, robust defense industry, and burgeoning electric vehicle market, relies heavily on a stable supply of these very minerals. Point 5 A sustained blockade could disrupt supply chains for everything from the smartphones in our pockets to the advanced avionics in military aircraft. Industries that depend on these inputs would face immediate challenges: surging prices, material shortages, and intense pressure to find alternative, often more expensive or less reliable, sources. This isn't just about economic discomfort, it's about potentially jeopardizing national industrial capabilities and technological advancement. For Nigeria, the move is a double-edged sword. In the short term, halting exports to a major consumer like the U.S. will undoubtedly lead to a reduction in foreign exchange earnings and some immediate economic strain. However, the Nigerian government appears to be banking on the strategic long-term impact. This bold play could force the U.S. to reconsider its stance, demonstrating that African nations possess significant leverage beyond traditional diplomatic channels. It could also push Nigeria to diversify its trade partners, strengthening ties with countries like China or others keen on securing mineral access. The risk, of course, is potential international backlash or even counter-sanctions from the U.S., escalating the crisis further. Geopolitically, this blockade is a stark reminder of resource dependency and the shifting dynamics of global power. It sets a precarious precedent: potentially inspiring other resource-rich nations to use their natural endowments as leverage in international disputes. The immediate diplomatic crisis is profound. Lines of communication between Washington and Abuja are undoubtedly burning hot. Will there be urgent negotiations, perhaps brokered by a third-party nation or international body? Or will both sides dig in, preparing for a protracted economic standoff? History offers some parallels, from oil embargoes to rare earth disputes, demonstrating the potent, often destabilizing, power of resource-based diplomacy. However, this particular scenario, a direct mineral blockade in retaliation for a travel ban, is relatively unique in its specific triggers and directness. As we look ahead, the immediate future is uncertain. House Speaker Mike Johnson and the Biden administration will face immense pressure from U.S. industries to resolve this issue swiftly. For Nigeria, the challenge lies in sustaining the blockade's impact while managing its own economic stability. This conflict is more than just a news story, it's a live case study in modern geopolitics, where sovereignty, security, and critical resources collide.